Yo, what is going on, everybody? I need my headphones on. That would probably help. And I need to start recording the tracks. What is going on, everybody? K-Man Jack back for another album reaction / review. And we are back live from the studio. Yo! Hopefully you guys are having one hell of a week. I'm pretty excited for this week's album reaction. Last year, I think it was. I can't remember anymore. Last year, I finally sat down and listened to a full-length project by the incredible theatric band Muse. Man, what a fun ride that album was. It was a great project which celebrated a lot of different sounds. There were quite a few singles off of it that I did know, and so it was fun to dive back into those songs for the first time in what felt like ages. I'd always been meaning to return back to the world of Muse, and we're finally here today. We're going to be checking out their album Absolution. I'm very, very excited for this one. Muse, like I've said in the first album reaction I did for them, they mean a lot to me. Their sounds and some of their big singles kind of highlighted parts of my childhood, honestly. I remember my dad is a huge Muse fan, so he showed me a lot of their fantastic work. So I'm pretty excited to get into this one, dive into their sound again, and just rock out. It is early morning here, but I don't see that being a problem. I think this album will probably wake me up pretty quickly, but let's get into it. This is Absolution by Muse. Okay. Almost like footsteps, or marching, or drums. Long-winded guitar. Man, Muse is such a good band, eh? Such a swooning voice, that one. And this is the end. This is the end of the God, man. That's iconic Muse, man. This sound right here, for me, feels very just Muse. Just great harmonies in the back there, man. It's beautiful. Apocalypse, please. Now that is an intro track. That is a very Muse intro track. There's clear influences by other bands with Muse. You definitely hear the Radiohead tendencies on some of their work, but you also hear them championing some of Queen's energy and some of the theatrics that could sometimes be prevalent on some of the Queen tracks. Both incredible bands to take influences from. But what I also find awesome is that there's the unique synth lines that Muse seem to have throughout their tracks as well. It's very dramatic sound on the Muse songs, which makes everything feel so cinematic. That song there felt cinematic. Apocalypse, please. Like a song title like that, you already know it's going to be hard-hitting, dramatic. The drums were pretty, they were pretty consistent. The drum beats stayed fairly samey throughout. The chorus repeated itself a couple times. But theatrics behind the song were the showcase, how it kind of, his voice, Matthew Bellamy, I think that's the lead singer. His voice, he, and something we talk about in the Radiohead tracks is Tom's vocals have such an important role to play in the Radiohead songs, and I think Matt's voice on the Muse songs is very similar in the way that it showcases the instrumentation around him. Oh, okay.
I think I'm drowning, asphyxiated. I wanna break the spell that you've created. Yes,
It's kind of got like a Strokes kind of feel to it in terms of his vocal take. Now it's more Muse-like. Yeah, very Strokes-like, like instrumentation. So cinematic, isn't it? Their tracks just have so much life.
I wanted freedom, bound and restricted. I tried to give you up, but I'm addicted. How did it come
to this? Oh, the isolation on this instrumental right now. Tough. Okay. Get the piano in. All right. Man, some of the effects that they put on the guitar is just damn tough. I tell you what. Again, quite theatric in sound. I did mention that it had the sound in the first verse was very similar to some of the works that I heard on Is This It? From the Strokes earlier this year. They've both felt like very classic Muse songs in terms of the choruses, how I know I'm not explaining that well, but Muse fans will probably understand what I'm saying. Great explanation, Jack. But yeah, I thought the effects on the instrumentation throughout were kept me engaged because it did feel like they were changing it up just slightly enough, because the verses and the choruses were pretty straightforward in terms of how it was like verse, chorus, but the instrumentation, the little subtleties that came in, like the piano, that like subtle synth that was in the back of, I think, the third verse. But yeah, those little things I think kept the song moving in a good way. Oh, that is good, isn't it? I love how it always just shifts to the darker side of the piano, Oh, how those harmonies and ad-libs in the back. Piano is just really solid. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. that like just that wavy guitar that's playing right now. Oh. And the piano, man, you can hear it. It's a great song. Great song. Oh, God. Yeah, Sing for Absolution, probably my favorite track I've heard on this album so far. Soaring vocals, really just, it's making me realize just why Radiohead meant so much to me when I started hearing those soaring vocals, because I first started hearing that kind of theatric, intimate sound when I was listening to Muse as a kid. So it's no surprise to me that when I heard Radiohead doing it, when I went back to their albums, I was like, oh my gosh. So this is a sound that I really love. I think it's a really great collection of like guitar use. The piano is highlighted as well. These kind of sounds, instrumentation that are much more intimate, I think I've always just naturally been more inclined to fall into. And I've mentioned that a couple times on some of the videos. So that song there was very ballad-like. It had multiple points throughout it where it was just like that really kind of emotive vocal performance. And those sounds, yeah, I just feel like, yeah, all right, I'm locked in. I'm really enjoying this take. Oh my God. Now, I do think I know this song because this guitar right now is very familiar to me. That hard kind of intro, man, coming from the track before into this, man. I remember this song. Pretty sure it breaks open here. Yeah, it does. It does. And then we come back into this. Oh! Oh, that is the one, man. That is such a good song. Yeah, so that was a song from my childhood. So hearing that again was that woke me the hell up. Like, you go from Sing for Absolution into Stockholm Syndrome, and Stockholm Syndrome is just heavy off the bat. I love how it just kind of keeps you on your toes. There's breaks within the guitar that just, I don't know, even just a subtle like millisecond of a break or a couple milliseconds, or it just stops and you hear just like silence and then bang straight back into it, just kind of creates that buzz around that guitar. I like the synth line. I love the really great use of instrumentation on that track, and just how, like I said earlier on this album, Matt's vocal performance can really highlight the instrumentation around it. They really complemented each other so well on that track. Stockholm Syndrome is a banger of a song, man. That will get you up and about. We've gone back to this slower sound. I wonder if it'll build up or if we'll get a little bit more of a ballad. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
I can't remember when it was good. Moments of
I haven't heard much of this kind of sound from Muse, so this is actually quite interesting.
I think our lives have just begun.
That's building. Interesting instrumentation on this one.
Nothing will ever stay the same. And all of the love we threw away. Fill my soul. Watching the flash.
I like this outro. This is good. This is good with that distorted guitar in the back. A large part of that song didn't hook me. I don't know if the instrumentation in the chorus, I could hear that synth line come in, which I really like that synth line, but I don't know if the sounds around it or even where that synth line was placed was hooking me. It was cool to hear this much more stripped back sound that we heard in the verses. I thought that was really cool to hear Muse do that. I haven't heard a lot of Muse when they've done that, so that's new for me. I thought the outro was beautiful. There was a lot less instrumentation. We just got Matt's voice. It sounded very dry, and we then got, I think I really appreciated that outro there. The chorus didn't have anything that really hooked me on a first listen. I did like how he had that long-winded falling away with you towards the end of the chorus. And that was like, man, how are you holding this note? They do have a great sound, Muse. It's so iconic to me. I think a lot of people need to discover Muse because they've got some fantastic work. Oh, that is heavy, isn't it? Hysteria. Oh, that's tough, isn't it? This feels like in a movie where they're about to battle, like the montage, you know, as they're getting ready. I like this distortion on his voice. I like this instrumentation on the pre-verse. such tough instrumentals, man. The king of that track was the instrumentals. There was the verses. I did really like the distortion effects they had on Matt's voice. But for me, what I took from that track and what I was really listening to was the drums, man. Those fantastic drum riffs. The beat was so full. It just had just a tough, gritty sound to the drums. The guitar, of course, highlighted those drums as well. I think those worked in tandem really well, those two instruments. I love how we can go from such heavy instrumentation to this very whimsical. Oh, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, that's fantastic. Those harmonies in the background, man, so just emotive, moody. Okay, subtle. All right. I like that. Yeah, very easy to fall into this track, like quite just closing my eyes and takes me just around the world to varying places and varying moments, you know, just, yeah, and a lovely stripped back piece there by Muse. Even this little, like that little outro vocal take was just really subtle, but really just smooth. When I heard that distorted electric guitar fading in, I saw that we still had half the track remaining, and I was like, okay, are Muse going to shift into their heavier, rockier sounds now? But no, it was really subtle, and it kind of baited me a little because I was expecting this huge ensemble to just come out of nowhere. But instead, that distorted guitar almost acted as a harmony. It was like almost someone just humming along. So the instrumentation continued to play, the beat remained prevalent, but this distorted guitar came in and sung. It almost sung. It sounded like someone was singing.
Change everything you are and everything you are.
There's hi-hat action.
Battles have begun. Revenge will surely come.
Oh, we get some cymbal action there.
Hard times are ahead.
Okay. Alright. Liking this. I thought the message was super empowering. I thought it was just motivating. It could drive a lot of people. I really respected and appreciated that message. And that middle section when the piano just was shining and it was isolated, it was the hero. I'm I'm going to be a fan of that part. So I really did love that. But the verses and the choruses, I just don't think they hooked me. I'm not sure if it was the melody it was sung in, or if it was the instrumentation muddying up and disconnecting with the vocals. I'm not quite sure on that first listen, but there was something that was just disconnecting me from it, and I just couldn't fall into it naturally. Small print. I really loved the chorus. I loved the heavier guitar that played throughout the chorus, and I like how it shifted mid-chorus to, so it wasn't just that same guitar throughout the whole chorus. The verses didn't really hook me in. I'm not sure if it was instrumentally. I think it was just the ensemble, to be honest. So the vocals, the instrumentation, I think it was all together. It just didn't really hook me. Okay. Yeah, I like that scene. That's cool. That's very cool. Oh, I like that reverse sound. I don't know what they're reversing. It's good. That's good. Great use of layering and slowly building as each verse goes into the chorus. We're getting a little bit more, I don't know, unique sounds. Oh, that's great, man. That might be a top 3 song I've heard on this album so far. That was a track. As you guys are probably well aware so far on this channel, I love mentioning and talking about the subtle instrumentation. And that song, that was the one. That was the one on this album that really had such a great layer of space to allow Muse to chuck in different sounds to kind of highlight the progression of that track. And I felt like they did it really well. It never felt muddy and overcrowded. It felt like there was a lot of sounds, which was like, whoa. But it was done in a manner that felt really respectful to the main driver of the song. The very like church sounding gospel sounds that we heard towards the back end of the track, acting as harmonies almost. That reverse sampling, I'm not sure what they were reversing. I don't know if it was reversing like a drum beat. And his voice was really good. he was just very smooth with it and chose the right times to kind of embellish what he was saying. I think I just focused more so on the lyricism. And it's such an interesting concept. Someone who is approaching the end of their life, how do they feel about not having something to believe in terms of an afterlife? Those themes were addressed on this track. I don't think they were addressed in a really deep manner, but it's just this simple concept that's been suggested on this track. The guitar solo acting as a bridge, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, from an instrumentation point of view, it didn't really hook me. But from a storytelling point of view, it was quite interesting, actually. Piano. That's just a... It's a classic Muse build, isn't it? You know, a real kind of dark. Oh, man. Atmosphere. Fantastic song. My gosh. Man, Ruled by Secrecy is just a beautiful track. Has so much space and depth. The way he just smoothly controls his voice throughout that song. So much balance and poise. Great voice control. I thought the instrumentation was just so effective, and when it was heavier, when it was lighter, that was just a perfect Muse song in my opinion. It just captures what's so great about that band is just their control and their patience and their delivery. So that was an unreal track. Absolution, what a fantastic album. The two albums that I have heard from Muse now have just delivered some fantastic moments, some nostalgic moments and some new moments for me that just unreal. So I thought the mixing on this project was really well done. I felt like each sound had its, for the most part, each sound had its moment. And when there was heavier sounds, I felt like for the most part, we got a really good balance of hearing all the instruments and the vocals. There's only a couple of points where it felt a little bit muddy, but for the most part, it was really, really solid. There are some really great shifts in sound throughout this project. I think I liked that. I think this album had some more slowed down moments than Black Holes and Revelations, which I really appreciate. I think something I really admire about Radiohead. I know I talk about Radiohead a lot, but I see a lot of similarities between these two bands. And one thing I like about Radiohead is they quite often have albums where they have some really high intense songs with some, some rockier elements, and then we go to more stripped back ballads. And I think Muse do that so well as well. So hearing songs like Blackout and hearing Ruled by Secrecy are two really fantastic stripped back ballads that have such a level of control. The band is so in tune with each other. It's just a really great craftsmanship. Absolution is a banger of a project. You guys would have seen that I was rocking out quite hard to a bunch of these tracks. So super stoked to have listened to another Muse album and really just dive deeper into their discography, because like I said, it's a nostalgia hit for me. Hearing some of these singles and then hearing the full body of work is just almost kind of like taking a trip back in time for me. It's really incredible. Love to see this band live one day. I think that'd just be a whole lot of fun. Just some incredible energy. I can't imagine. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that reaction. That was Absolution by Muse. What's your favorite track off this album? And if you have any further recommendations, I have listened to Black Holes and Revelations. If you want to check out that video, I will put a link up to, I don't know which side it will be, but there will be a link. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.